Okay. So can everyone see my presentation? Just a thumbs up if you can see my presentation. Okay, that's perfect. So okay, so I'll go straight to the presentation. So thank you everyone for coming, for joining this course and this journey with me. And we will be learning all about data analytics and AI throughout the 11 weeks we have together. I aim to make it very fun and very hands-on because data analytics is an applicational course. It's not a theoretical course, so it's very applicational. So you need to do a lot of practice, try a lot of things. We learn as we go. There are a lot of things I still learn as a data scientist, but all of this is exploring new data sets and trying to understand new problems. So that said, the content for today, so we have 3 sessions, 1 hour each, and we'll have 10 minutes breaks within the hour. And this is the content of the different hour sessions. And so I'll start with the first session. Obviously, will just this session is just an introduction and just to give people, to ease people to the whole idea of data analytics and bring up some concepts, things I'll be how the course will be delivered and how to maximize the training. And also I'll present to you the available data sets I have, and I'll also lot of feedback from the learners in case there are some topics or some domains of the data sets which I don't have. If you're interested in certain data sets and you think I don't have that data set, you can just leave a comment, a question, and I'll be able to source out that data for you. The whole aim is that from the beginning, I would like each learner to choose from the list of available data sets, about 3 data sets, which they would like to use throughout this course, because throughout this course, everything we learn, I would like everyone to build a data and a machine learning portfolio using 3 data sets of interest, and you build them throughout the length. So everything I'm teaching, you'll be practicing using these 3 data sets. Obviously, I have a lot of learners who are from different domains, and we have managers as well. We have people who already have their data sets with them. So when I'm teaching, you can use your available data. If you have data sets, for example, if you're doing some research and you have data sets, or you're working in a company, you own a company and you have your data, you can use these data sets to implement everything I'm teaching. And we can always have these drop-in sessions or private drop-in sessions if you don't want to show your data to the other learners, or private drop-in sessions where we discuss about your personal data and how you have progressed and what are the challenges you're facing in your personal data. So I encourage people to bring in their data from their companies, obviously not to me, but to the course when learning, and explore your data using the techniques and the things I'll be teaching throughout this course. So going straight forward, there will be some housekeeping rules. So first of all, we'll be using, there will be a lot of hands-on sessions and hands-on exercises throughout the course. I think all the lectures, or all the lectures will have hands-on sessions, and this will be provided via Teams. So after this, I'm going to show the team channel where we'll put in all the data or the code which you will use on which throughout the exercises. So I'll be sending team links. As I said, I'll add this to your calendar from next lecture so that everyone has this in their calendars. And general announcements and will still be maintained via WhatsApp group. The WhatsApp group, I'll still keep it for general announcements, since that I think everyone works with your mobile phone, so it's easy to communicate via WhatsApp. Obviously, as we started today, we started at 9:30 at the dot, and we'll always keep that time. We have to keep to time in order to meet our requirements and to complete the course content. Microphones will be muted. Questions should be submitted to the chat throughout the lectures, and I'll handle them first come, first serve basis. And the questions which we can't answer during the lecture will be answered in the Teams channel or during the drop-in sessions which we have. Post-lecture questions, again, we'll have to communicate this through the Teams channel. So if you have any questions in your data, I'll always advise you to take screenshots of what you are doing. When you're doing a hands-on exercise, you take a screenshot. If you have a problem, you put the screenshot and the problem and the question in the Teams channel. And summary of the lectures, if, as I said earlier, we have an AI within us. I don't know if you can identify the AI. So the AI will be helping us to summarize most of our lectures, and this will be provided in our Teams channel again to summarize what we have talked about throughout the lecture. Software issues, IT issues, we still have a couple of software to install, things like SQL Server, which we need to install because we'll be using SQL on our Visual Studio Code, which is amazing as well. So if you have any software issues, please, we still use the Teams channel, which I'm going to show. Please avoid sending me private questions. So avoid sending me questions on, except it's actually private, right? If it's concerning the course content, please put it in the public, in the Teams channel, so that everyone can benefit from your question and from the answer, and so that I don't repeat answers multiple times, and everyone can be in the same loop. And also it encourages everyone that people are doing things, people are exploring things, and people are maybe facing the same problems. And so please try to submit and don't be shy. We are all learners and we are all professionals. So don't be shy. Send your questions. No, there's no stupid question. There's no stupid answer. Also, you can critique my answers because you'll be amazed to get some feedback from you guys as well. So you can always ask me questions even when I answer the question if you don't understand. A feedback questionnaire will be provided after every lecture. This feedback questionnaire, its purpose is for the learners to critique my style of teaching and the lectures and the hands-on exercises. Critique it if it's too fast, if it's too slow, if it's at your pace, so that I can improve on my lectures as well and improve on my content. As I said earlier, all lectures are being recorded, so please, if you don't want to be viewed, you can switch off your cameras. So to start back, I'll reintroduce myself. I'm Dr. Jemima, and I'm a data scientist by profession. I started my career as a computer engineer several years ago. I've worked on several domains, from real estate to transport to healthcare. And so I'm privileged to be your instructor throughout these 3 weeks. And it will be amazing to learn from you and also for you to learn from me. So let's enjoy the time we have together. So who are my learners? So we start straight away with data. So that's an amazing thing because I would like to tell you about you, right? So this is the feedback I got from my quiz. So first of all, you can see there is some data. So this is how data is. This is a presentation. This is a data portfolio, right? I presented to you some quiz and I had more than I think more than 64 completion. So more than 64 people completed my quiz, and amongst the 64 people, these were the statistics we got from the quiz. So we had the average score, which was 8.6. So this was the score. So everyone's score divided by the total number of people who completed the score. That's an average. And we had the median, which was the middle score of 9, which is close to the average. It means the distribution was quite a little bit normally distributed. And we had a range. Range means from the minimum. So we had a minimum score of 2 and we had a maximum score of 12. So we had some people who had 12 all the points, which was good as well. But this is not to critique anyone, but it's just to show you how data becomes real. So you completed the quiz, and now we can present the findings and the insights to what you completed. We have 2 main questions, which were the most difficult questions. The first one was which of the following is true about the comments in program? About comments in programming? And I provided the answers. I don't know what everyone provided, but these are the correct answers. So comments in a program is to document the program and to explain what the code will be doing. So if you want to explain, you have to always know the codes you write may be used by others. So we always use comments to explain what the code is saying, because, and even you, sometimes you write a code 1 year ago, you come back 6 years after and you look at the code and you don't understand anything that the code is saying. So these comments help you to explain what the code is doing. So it's easy to catch up with the code. And secondly, because the comments are not executed in the program. So if you have a code section that you want to disable from your code, you use comments as well. What does machine learning mean? Machine learning is developing computers that learn from data to make decisions. The two key terms are data. I don't know the answers people provided, but there must be data. So the computers are not, you don't teach them rules. You don't teach them. Before, we had what we call rule-based systems, where you tell the computer, you give the computer rules like if then. So you can say if the door is, if it's hot, wear a jacket. So you give the computer those rules. Currently, when machine learning was invented, it actually learns from historical data. So you provide data to the computer and the computer learns the patterns in the data to make a decision. Again, who are my learners? So this is a broad spectrum of my learners, and I'm privileged to have all of you on board. So we have people from all sectors, from education, researchers, finance, healthcare, management. We have people who own companies. We have technology. So we have IT gurus. We have people who are working in the warehouse. We have marketers. We have transport professionals. We have people who offer services. We have engineers. We have people who work in government institutions. Please be careful with those people. I don't know who they are. But anyway, we have HR, so human resource specialists as well, which is interesting. So we have this broad spectrum of learners. So I'll try to be very clear because people come from different backgrounds. So it's important everyone understands what I'm saying. So we did straight into what we are here, all of us are here for what we're calling the data analytics. So before we even start understanding what data analytics or AI is, we need to understand what data is. So there are two types of data. We have structured data and unstructured data. And majority of the people here have, in one way or the other, interfaced or come across either of these these data types. So structured data generally is, for example, structured data. So any data, a tabular data. So any data which can be presented in a tabular format. So most of our Excel sheets, our CSV documents, all of these are structured data. So we have columns which represents the headings of the headings of the data, and we have rows which represent the observations. So we have presented two examples of structured data. So we have the first one, which is simply a book data regarding books. So you can see we have the columns, which are the book ID, the title of the book, the author, the genre, the publisher, and so on. And we also have transactional data, which also has transaction ID, the date, the account, and so on. So this is structured. Unstructured data is more complex. So we have things like images, we have things like sound, we have things like text. So emails, when you send emails, that is still data. When you send a voice note, that is still data. When you send a picture or a video of yourself, that is still data, but that is unstructured data. In this course, we'll be dealing with structured data throughout the course because unstructured data is more complex. You deal with more complex machine learning and AI algorithms, which will not be covered in this course and which you don't need to become a data analyst or to understand data analytics. Remember, even though we are not dealing with unstructured data, when we are processing unstructured data using complex algorithms, we always transform this unstructured data to a structured data format. So remember, machine learning and AI always deals with structured data format. So even when we are dealing with unstructured data, we transform this unstructured data to a structured data format, which has rows and columns as well. But we will not deal with unstructured data in this course. So even though we're talking about structured data, there are other types of structured data. So the first is what I would call aggregated data. So aggregated data means each row represents an individual. So, for example, if I want to talk about people's salary, I would say this is an aggregated data. So each row will represent someone in an, so for example, an individual employee. So you have an employee, his name, his gender, his salary. And why I call it aggregated, because most of the features or most of the columns for that employer, if it will maybe aggregated, for example, if you wanted to look at that employers, if you wanted to report or capture the data for that employers, the amount, the time, the minimum time, the earliest time he comes to the office and the latest time he comes to the office, that is aggregated data. So we'll be looking at his minimum office when he comes to the office and his maximum of when he comes to the office, and that will be fall under different columns called minimum attendance or maximum attendance. We have another type of data, which is time series data. Time series data, things like transactional data. So a single entity may have multiple information, multiple roles. So for example, Cameroon is an entity, right? Cameroon will have different, we can capture the temperature or the weather information of Cameroon over time. So it has to do with time. So Cameroon's temperature, humidity, wind, and precipitation over a duration of time is what we call time series. And we'll have different entities. So we'll have Cameroon, we'll have Nigeria, we'll have South Africa, we have whatever entities. And each of these entities will have this temporal data or time series data. So data over time. And these two data sets are complex. Time series are more complex than aggregated data. And as well, time series can be aggregated to form an aggregated data. So for example, you can already see if we look for the average temperature, the average humidity, and the average wind and precipitation of Cameroon over this duration, then we would transform this time series data to aggregated data. So sometimes it's so difficult to analyze time series data, and so sometimes we transform it to aggregated data to get a summary or a more summarized version of what's happening rather than getting a time series data. Time series data obviously will be nice for trends. So to see how the temperature of Cameroon changes over time will be then you'll be forced to use time series data. So that said, what is data analytics? Data analytics, as I said, is the collection, the processing, the analysis, the interpretation, and the visualization of large data. And to obviously, the main purpose is to make actionable insights, because in your business, you don't want to use assumptions so in the past people used to use a lot of assumptions, but now in your business, imagine you have historical data of what people have been doing in your business. You want to understand what those people are doing to make informed decisions. So you want to understand how the employees performance over time in your company using data and not using an assumption, using the data to make maybe an informed decision that the employees are underperforming or the employees are overperforming over time, or these are the months where you get the best sales in your business, or these are the months where you get the worst sales in your business. So it's all about decision making. So you have your business, you want to understand what the data tells you about your business to make an informed decision. Obviously, you need large data. When the data is very small, you can still use Excel sheets. That's why one of the pre-program activities was to learn a little bit about Excel pivot tables, because when your data is small, you can still use pivot tables to do what you want to do. But when your data becomes large and when you want to automate processes, then you need to start using more programming tools like Python, SQL, and other programming languages. So if you look at the definition, it talks about the collection, that's extracting the data, the processing, so cleaning up the data, the analysis, so you want to analyze the data to see if you can find insights, and you want to present these insights maybe as what we call visualization to your stakeholders or to your business or owners or whoever you want to present this, or even to yourself, and to make informed decisions. So you see that it's actually an applicational subject. As I said before, it's very applicational. The definition tells you it's all about actions. It's all about collection. It's all about process. It's all about action. So it's all about hands-on exercises. So the skills which are needed to become a data analyst or to learn data analytics or to become an expert in data analytics are the must-have skills. Before, I think a while ago, I presented and I didn't add SQL, but now there's a large overlap between data engineering and data and analytics. That's why I've added SQL. So we will learn what SQL means. And obviously, as I said before, to analyze the data, we use Python. To analyze the data, we don't use SQL. You use SQL to extract the data from the database, to retrieve the data. So sometimes there is this overlap between a data engineer, who is the person who always extracts the data, and a data analyst. So it's important I teach you how to extract data in case you come across a database and you want to extract that data before you analyze the data. So you need a basic understanding of SQL. You need to understand Python. You will learn the analysis techniques, which has to do with cleaning the data, transforming the data, visualizing the data, and storytelling is a must. So throughout our course, there will be parts where people will be called upon to present their data portfolio and tell us what they have done in their analysis, and just show us graphs and explain to us what insights they got from the graph. That is important because that's how you tell the story about the data to a decision maker for them to be able to make the decision. We'll do hypothesis testing, and of course, everyone is interested in AI, which we'll be doing machine learning predictions and other machine learning techniques. The top 1%, which obviously is, as I said before, these are more of data scientists. So data scientists deal with unstructured data, they deal with deep learning, which is more complex neural networks, and deal with model deployment, monitoring, and management, which obviously we will not cover in depth in this course because you don't need to know this to be an expert in data analytics. These are for people who want to become AI engineers or data scientists, which are more complex, which is a more complex domain. The course outline, as I said, will be an 11 weeks training. Next week, we will kick off with SQL. And so throughout this week, I'll send another YouTube video on how to install SQL on your Visual Studio Code. This will be a very short video. And we'll kick off with SQL. We'll follow Python. We'll do data analysis. All of this will be hands-on. We'll have all of practical coding exercises. We'll have questions. We'll interact with the audience to understand what people think about certain data, certain problems. We'll ask questions and so on. So it'll be a very interactive session and a problem-solving session. The timetable will be as follows. So I'm very sorry I've had to change the timing due to a large audience. I have a large audience in the States, so I've taken into consideration. So I really apologize to the others who are not in the States for this inconvenience. So we will start at 10:30, which obviously it's a little bit later for people in the States, and we'll end at 1:30. So we have this 3 hours lectures and hands-on exercises, and we'll have drop-in sessions within the week and on Saturday from 5:30 to 6:30 on Saturday. The drop-in sessions are for people to come in with their questions and come in with their exercises and come in with what they have been doing, and if they have any issues, we discuss them. So we can just give people each person maybe about 10 minutes to just chat or just tell us what you are doing, just like an agile methodology, an agile Scrum meeting. So we just come in, people 5 minutes, you just tell us what you're doing, what is interesting, what you're facing. Is there any issue you're facing? You can post a screenshot of your issue, and have a round table where everyone discusses on what they are doing and the problems they are solving. Because in the real world, that's what happened. We always have this weekly or bi-weekly meetings where we discuss about blocks, the issues we are facing, the progress we have had, and it's very short. It's about 10 minutes per person or 5 minutes per person, and that's what I think everyone has been hearing about Scrum, and that's what Scrum is all about. Yeah, so we'll have these drop-in sessions where we'll do some Scrum sessions. We'll go deeper into some people's code, or go deeper into my code or exercises. Just make it very fun, and please come in with a lot of questions, come in with a lot of inquiries so that we make this really fun. We'll have this also within the week. So within the week from 9 to 10. sorry, so from 7 to 8 within the week, and that's Wednesday and Friday. We'll have these drop-in sessions as well. So you can come in. I'll still send the link for these drop-in sessions. Again, it will be on Teams, so you can drop in on Teams and be able to see what we are doing and ask questions and interact. And also, I'll be bringing some cool exercises during these drop-in sessions, which will not be found in the lectures, just to give people to stimulate people and make it very interesting as well. Obviously, the learning objective. So a lot of people have come to me asking, when I do this course, how do I get a job? Will I get a job? What is in the market? Everything I'm teaching in this course has everything to do with a job, getting a job in data analytics, exploring a job in data analytics. But I would say it doesn't have everything to do with the course. So it's a yes and no. The yes is, if you learn this course, you can get a job anywhere in the world. The no is, I'm not teaching you to get jobs. I'm teaching you to learn skills. So that is extremely important. The job market is all about skills. Life is all about skills. So I'm teaching you to be skillful in data analytics. So I really want to, and there is two things I'm teaching: to have a data mindset. A data mindset is not just about the course, it's about a lifestyle. So there are things in your life and the things that the way you look at things that will have to change for you to be able to excel in as a data analytics. So even your management in your laptop, you have to have a good management of your files. You have to have a good file system where you put files in a very good data structure, in a very good management structure. You have to, it starts from there. It's not just about the course. And that's why I'll be using the Teams channel just to keep you updated with what happens in the real world as a data analytics. You have this folder structure where you'll be interacting with the team. You save things in folder structures, and everything will be presented in a Teams channel where you have communications between your team members. So we'll be mimicking the real world, what happens in the real world, and trying to develop this mindset. Again, as I said, we'll be doing a lot of hands-on exercises. And for a lot of my audience who are not even interested in getting jobs, they already have jobs, they are managers and whatever. It's about professional growth in a data world. Obviously, everyone knows we are now in an AI and a data world. So you want to be on top of your game. You want to be able to interact with others when people are talking about AI and when people are talking about data, and also integrate this into your teams or into your businesses, because it's the future. It's the present and the future, sorry. So and lastly, as I said, why I changed the time before is to make it convenient for everyone, because I'm not just here to take money from people and teach people data analytics, but I'm here to build an African data analytics community. So where we can have this community where we can chat, we can progress together, we can have like minds talking about the same thing, and we can build businesses and and a lot of run projects together. I already have a lot of people, learners, who have already started having partnerships with them in terms of working with them, and they have brought up some projects. So that is what we want to do, right? We want to empower ourselves as Africans and take advantage of the knowledge we have out there and take advantage of the data world. Or lastly, we'll be leveraging a lot of AI tools. Hello AI, Jemima's AI. You are there. I know you're listening to me. Again, we'll be using a lot of AI tools like Copilot, ChatGPT to enhance learning and enhance our data analysis and AI skills. We didn't have this 5 years ago. We didn't have all of this Copilot, so it was much difficult for us. That's why I tell everyone it's possible for you to learn data analytics, because we now have AI tools which are available for us and which will enhance and speed up learning significantly. However, I don't want people to rely so much on the AI tools, but that's why I'm here to teach you the foundation so that you can still be able to use the AI tools and still be able to understand what the AI tools are doing, because you understand the foundation of data analytics. And that's the end of the first our first session. So exactly 30 minutes, which is what we wanted. So if anyone, we have about 15 minutes for questions, and we'll have about a 10 to 15 minutes break to have a cup of tea, have a cup of water, walk around. And so questioning starts now. So if you have any questions, please send the questions to the chat. I'll be able to open the mic now so that people can talk because the lectures is out and the lectures are over. So I will disable the mic and I'll stop sharing as well. So I'll stop recording. Stop recording.